In this video, I'm going to show you how to make this part. It's part 3.3, drawing section view, and I'm going to show you how to do the shell command. You notice that this part has been hollowed out in the inside. I'm going to start out by going to Projects. I'm going to make sure there's a check next to my folder. In this case, I have a check next to my Project Lead the Way folder. I'm going to hit Done. I'm going to create a new part and a new sketch on the XY plane. I'm going to start out by drawing a rectangle. I'm going to choose this one, the center point rectangle. I'm going to point to 0, 0. I'm going to type in the blue box, I'm going to type in 5 and then tab and 2. Tab and enter. Put down some points, locating where the holes are going to go. So I'm going to choose my point command. Position it approximately over here. I'm going to hit tab and type in minus 1.5 tab, 0.5 tab, and hit enter. And notice there's a little green point here. I'm going to put another point over here. I'm going to go tab, type in 1.5 tab minus 0.5 tab and hit enter, and notice that there's another point of green dot here. I'm going to add some fillets. I could either do this in 2D or 3D. I'm going to go ahead and do it here. I'm going to click on here and make this 0.25. I'm going to select this line and that line, this line, that line, this line, that line, all four corners. And I'm done. Hit the green check. I'm going to go ahead and extrude. I'm going to go in the reverse direction. I'm going to choose this here. I'm going to go in the opposite direction. And I do that to keep my sketch on the top surface. I'm going to go out a distance of 1. That's the default distance. And I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to come over here to this extrusion, the extrusion I just made, and use this sketch to create this extrusion. But once it's done using the sketch, it turns the sketch off. I'm going to turn the visibility of the sketch back on by clicking here next to visibility. I'm going to turn the part around, and I'm going to use a new command. It's called shell. I'm going to select here, point to this back face here, and let's leave the thickness at 0.1, or enter a distance of 0.1 for thickness, and hit OK. And notice that now my part is shelled. I'm going to come back over to the front and choose my hole tool. And you notice that by default there was 2 green points on that sketch, on the visible sketch, and the only active visible sketch, and so it assumes I want to put a hole in those locations, and I do. I'm going to change the hole diameter to 0.5, and then I'm going to change from distance to through all, make it through all. I'm going to go through the entire thickness of the part and make sure that these settings are as shown, just a through hole. Hit OK. And there's my part. I'm going to go ahead and go back to this sketch here. Right click on that and turn the visibility of that sketch off, and now that part of the sketch, that sketch is turned off, and there's my part. I'm going to go ahead and create a new drawing. First of all, I'm going to save this part. I'm going to save it as say 3.3 section view shell. And save. I'm going to create a new drawing. I'm going to go ahead and place my base view. Move this out of the way. And notice my views right here. I'm going to set it right here. Put a top view here and an ISO view here. And I'm not going to put a side view because I'm going to put a section view there. So I'm going to right click and hit create. going to come up to Annotate, and I'm going to choose my center mark tool, and I'm going to zoom in a bit and select this hole and this hole here. I'm going to right click, hit OK. I'm going to grab this point and move it up a bit. Move this down. I'm going to go ahead and add a new view, a section view. I'm going to pick this dotted line to let it know that I'm going to put this section into this view. I'm going to add it on this center line that we just created. Zoom in really tight so you get the top of the line. And zoom out. And zoom in. Move to the right and hit continue. I'm going to place my section view about right there. Maybe move it over just a bit. I'm going to go ahead and continue with my annotation. I'm going to add a center line here in this view. I'm going to choose this tool here. It's called a center line bisector. I'm going to pick this green dot here and this green dot here. Zoom out. Add some more dimensions. Put a dimension here and a dimension on this length, on the height. Dimension the overall width. Dimension this radius. Dimension this hole. I'm going to double click on this dimension to edit it. I'm going to add the word, notice here's my cursor, I'm going to type in THRU to designate the holes are going all the way through. Now I'm going to use my arrow key to go all the way to the left. And I'm going to hit a space and then hit the arrow key again to go to the left. And I'm going to type in 2 space small x, that means 2 times, and hit OK. So what this says is there's 2 holes, and the diameters are 0.5, and they go all the way through. So there are my 2 holes. I'm going to dimension the thickness of this part. You notice it's been shelled out. We use the shell command. I'm going to create a dimension. I'm going to point to this line here and to this line here, and that tells me how thick it is. And we shelled it at 0.1, and it's shown as 0.1. The only thing I need to do now is dimension these holes, the location of those holes. So I'm going to dimension them from the nearest, the closest corner. So I'm going to specify this line and this point, and then this line and this point. Come over here and dimension from this line to here. And then from here to here. So the only thing left to do is up here in this top view I have these side view of the holes, and I need to add my center line. I'm going to come and select this green dot here and this green dot here, pan over, and do the same here. I'm I'm going to hit cancel to end my dimension command. I'm going to double click on here. I'm going to change that to shaded, and that completes my drawing. I'm going to save this, export it to PDF, and submit it to LMS.